to do this video, I meant to do this video yesterday. It's about basically, I was watching a video and they were talking a bit about, being replaced, about being a spoiler and having children that are mixed race. And basically, not having children that look like you, things of that nature. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because it's like, the thing I wanted to talk about specifically was how people say, like, people who push colorism complain about mixed women replacing them, basically. And from my perspective, it's like this. I feel like as a person who isn't really mixed race, I don't have a non-black parent. And, I'm not dark-skinned. I get tired of this whole thing. People always say dark-skinned black people complain about mixed people replacing them. And from my perspective, it's like, I feel like often, like, people like me are often replaced. Like, people who aren't light-skinned, mixed-race people. They could be light-skinned black people, but light-skinned black people, many of the time, our phenotypes aren't the same as mixed race people because, like, mixed race people might be mixed with Asian, and then you have Asian features. We don't have Asian features, and so forth. You get what I'm saying. And we're not dark skinned either. We're not like dark skinned black people, and it's like I feel like often that's my concern. People always talk about like dark-skinned black people being replaced by mixed people and things of the nature of swirling. For me personally, it's like I feel like often dark-skinned black people like to take my identity away and try to replace it with their identity. They'll either say you're not black enough, or they'll say, you're too light, you look like you should be darker skinned and you must be a bleacher, because basically they're saying that you have black features. You look like a black person, but your skin is too light, so you must be doing something wrong to make yourself lighter. And it's like, from my perspective, it's like, why can't someone just be themselves without you butting your own self into it? What if I said you look too dark to be a black person or something like that? And, you must have done something wrong, or you must have done something wrong because your features are African or something. It's not right to try and erase someone's image by saying they did something wrong. Therefore, that's why they look the way they do, instead of just acknowledging that they are different phenotypically than you, and that's their identity. A lot of brown-skinned people and a lot of light-skinned people get attacked because of being lighter skinned but being black people. So, there's so many different ways people come after us for just not fitting the idea and the image of a dark skinned black person. And the reason people come for us is because they like to erase our image, and they like to basically have dark skinned black people replace us. That's the thing, too. Personally, how I see it is like when people say mixed people are doing it, or dark-skinned black people, from my perspective, I'm like, I don't really think either is worse to me. Like, if mixed people were replacing me, would it really be any different than a dark-skinned black person replacing me? No, neither has my image. Neither. So, I mean, one, creating this dichotomy of either it's mixed or it's dark-skinned black people that you have to identify with, it creates an idea of displacement for everybody else who doesn't fit into those categories. And that erases our identity in itself, because you're only acknowledging two identities, and all the rest in the middle are just left to try and fit into one of those two categories. All the while, they're going to be erased because they're trying to be something they're not. trying to be dark skinned. Well, you're not really dark skinned. And so how real is that? Trying to be accepted as mixed race, you're not really mixed race. So what's it gonna do for you for your visibility, you know? And that's the thing, I just wish there was more visibility of all black people rather than just dark or mixed race. It should be everybody on the whole spectrum of black people. You know, every shade should be accepted. If you're mixed race or if you're black, you know, it should be accepted, you know. And that's basically all I have to say on that. I just feel like, you know, people always talk about mixed race people replacing people. But what about dark skinned people? We're going into this idea and this mentality where dark skinned people should be replacing people. And we have always had this mentality that they're the ideal look. They're the main look of black people. They're the original look of black people. We're only moving forward closer to that idea that these people are the standard of blackness, you know? And it's like, you know, for the rest of us, what's it do other than erases our identity and replaces us? So, from my perspective, it's just like, I don't appreciate that, you know? Um, I think it's very problematic. Think of, for example, Will Smith and the whole situation where he couldn't play a dark skinned black man. Do you really think he could play a role of a person who is, for example, like Jason Kidd or Logic? Do you think he could play a mixed race role like that? No. It's literally displacing for people who aren't dark skinned and they aren't mixed race because they can't play either role. They can't be accepted into either category because they're not either category. And people don't want to accept that there's more people than just mixed race people and dark skinned black people. You know, and that's just what I don't like. We need to be more inclusive and diverse rather than just make it one or the other, and everybody else basically has to scrap and trying to find where they fit. So that's all I have to say on that. Thanks for watching. Bye.